Fantastic atmosphere, and I've never seen so many people in the mounting yard.
There's many people in the mounting yard as there are watching in the hill stand. I think Bart Cummings faces a real big test today for Bart. I mean, he's trained 9 cup winners, but I believe this is a mountain he wants to climb, and that's to beat the imports here in Australia. I think he faces his biggest test today, and I'm pretty confident about Saintly. I think he's nice and cool in the yard. Oscar Schindler's starting to get him sweat up a little bit, and Gray shot.
Thank you, Clem. There's the fanfare with the 1976 winner Vanderham about to lead the horses onto the track. Let's go back to Greg Miles.
Runners coming out now for the Melbourne Cup, led out by Vanderham, who triumphed here 20 years ago with Bobby Skelton on board. The top weight is Doremus, going for back-to-back. Damien Oliver, already 3 winners on the program. Number 2 is Count Chivas, stablemate of Doremus, the Sydney Cup winner, Stephen King. Number 3 is Court of Honour. First of the imports, Simon Marshall. 4, Oscar Schindler, the favourite. The St Leger winner, placed in the Arc in Paris, Michael Kinane. Behind him is Saintly, the Cox Plate winner. Can he give Bart his 10th cup? Darren Beedman. 6 is Grey Shot, winner of the Goodwood Cup, Pat Edery. Number 7, Nothing Like a Dane, the Derby winner, who was runner-up in the Cup last year, Shane Dye. 8 is Sapio, winner of the New Zealand Cup, Jim Walker. 9, Istedard, Moonee Valley Cup winner at his last start, Greg Hall. Number 11, Senator, the pride of New Zealand, winner of the Auckland Cup, Lance O'Sullivan. Number 12, the Phantom Chance, a former Cox Plate winner, Patrick Payne. 13, Beau Art, grand staying mare from Western Australia, Jeremy Huswick. Number 15 is Arctic Scent, the Caulfield Cup winner, Brent Stanley. 16, Super Slew, placed in a Brisbane Cup, Mick Dittman. 17, the Bandit, who won the Quickies 3 starts ago and placed in the Sydney Cup, Noel Harris. 18 is Chevy, at a South Australian Derby winner, Damien Brown. 19, Circles of Gold, an AJC Oaks winner, runner-up in the Caulfield Cup, Brett Preble. Number 20, Fewer Chosen, who won for the first time in Australia here in the 10 News Stakes on Saturday, Darren Gauci. Number 21, Alcove, lining up in her 2nd Melbourne Cup, Brian York. 22 from South Australia is Skybow, runner-up in the Adelaide Cup, Jason Holder. 23, stablemate of Saintly, My Kiwi Gold, the Newcastle Cup winner, John Marshall. And number 24, Setico, 2nd behind Fewer Chosen on Saturday, and Andrew Payne is the jockey replacing Chris Muntz, who was suspended. The field of 22 heading to the start for the $2.2 million Melbourne Cup. So let's have a look at the latest situation. And Oscar Schindler has firmed in the betting. Like Double Trigger last year, the avalanche of money is for the import, or for the international visitor, I should say. Oscar Schindler, as Hutchie pointed out, cool as a cucumber. The big crowd hasn't upset him. If he's on his game, the arc form holding up so superbly, he must be the horse to beat. Punters have rallied. He'll run the favourite. Doremus has been a firmer. He's come in a point. He'll run the 6-1 second elect. Nothing Like a Dane is a point longer. And a point longer again to Saintly, who's just eased slightly out, about 1 point. And next best is Senator, who's got out now to double figures. So it's Oscar Schindler to run favourite for Michael Kinane for the Melbourne Cup. And for the latest, before they line into the stalls, let's cross back down to Peter in the mounting yard.
Thank you, Greg. Yes, the owners and the trainers are all making their way up to the area to watch the Melbourne Cup. Let's cross over now to Clem Dimsey.
Thank you, Peter, and very kindly David Moody, the breeder, managing owner of Arctic Scent, is with us. You seem to be pretty cool, David.
Oh, well, Clem, we're here and we're in with a great chance, I think.
Is it a dream for you to have a genuine chance in the Cup?
Well, it's certainly a dream to win a Caulfield Cup, to win a Melbourne Cup. She'd have to create history because She's got to carry 51.5, half more than Let's the Lope. Is the only mare to do it. So, you know, well, I'm relaxed about it. What will be, will be.
She looks very well, David.
Yeah, I really think she's improved since Caulfield, and 2 miles is always going to be a go. So, with a bit of luck in running, hopefully we get an even break at it. We might be there at the end.
What did you think of Oscar Schindler?
Oh, looked enormous, didn't he? Just awesome. He might win by 10.
Yes, he did look fantastic, didn't he? But races aren't judged on looks, of course.
Well, look at Arctic Scent. Yeah, no, she's a little light thing with a big heart and a big motor.
Well, David, I know you want to get a good position in the stand to watch the race. Good luck with Arctic Scent, and thanks for your time, David Moody.
Thanks.
The grandstand. David Moody, Peter, chatting about Arctic Scent.
Thank you, Clem. And Peter Hutchison is back with us. And Hutchie, you've had 4 rides in the Melbourne Cup. I think the closest you've got is 6th, and you might have even finished at the tail of the field. And a lot of people win money by actually in sweeps with the last home.
Well, that's it, Vede. I got everyone's money back last year, and ran last on Sir Kingy. Lucky a couple failed to finish, which gave me the honour of running last. But it's sometimes in a race like this, on a heavy day with where you're getting mud kicked in your face and your horse is starting to struggle a mile from home, it's a lot of hard work, especially when the ambulance drops back a gear and starts tooting at you.
Which is the hardest race to ride in? The Caulfield Cup, which you won, of course, and the Melbourne Cup?
I think, well, when I won the Caulfield Cup, everything fell into place, and I think this is a sort of race too. If you're on a winner, everything seems to fall into place. You know, not many sort of horses with excuses win this sort of race. You need a lot of luck in running. As I say, when horses tire in front of you, the slow horses get in your way, and you'd like to be going forward, or at least getting behind a horse like the Remus that'll be taking you forward.
Now, Greg Miles, our race caller, I think Greg is calling his 18th Melbourne Cup today, but he's gone for nothing like a Dane. And certainly Shane Dye, when he was introduced to the crowd onto the podium about 10 minutes ago, he strutted up. He got probably more booze than the Victorian Premier, Mr. Kennett.
Yes, well, I think he's poor Shane. He's never been forgiven for Yandercross, I don't think. And there's old Bobby Skelton just coming back in on old Van der Ham, and said his style hasn't changed much over the years, old Bobby. He still rides a lot of work, and he's doing pretty well. Yeah, but poor old Shane. I think he fell asleep a bit on Nothing Like a Dane on Saturday as well. So I think if we get that run a bit, I reckon Nothing Like a Dane will run a big race today.
I think Pat Hyland said this time last year quite a few jockeys fall asleep in that race on that Saturday before the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, so no, it has been a bit sus over the years, and I can't comment too much on that.
I tell you what, Clem, it's a change being out in the Manning Yard without the umbrella for the last 4 years. And talking about Bobby Skelton, who's just making his way over here now, we might just get a quick word from Bobby, because I know Greg will be getting the horses into the barrier very shortly. Bobby Skelton live on ABC Radio. What a thrill to take the old champ out.
Look, it brought back so many great memories. The only thing is I thought Van Dam might bring the rain again.
Well, the rain, that's what I'm saying. It's totally different, isn't it, Robert?
Lovely.
You'll never forget that day.
Look, Clem, it dawned bright and clear, hardly a cloud in the sky, and as we know, the heavens opened. I've never seen rain like it.
That was fate.
And well, I mean, he was meant to win it, because, he was a mudder. He was a great mudder. Well, he could, Pete. Look, on top of the ground, he ran on the Cox Plate and got run over in the Cox Plate. But on the day, with the mud and everything, he revelled in the conditions.
Bob, your tip for the Cup?
Oh, I like Bart's horse.
Saintly.
Yeah, I think,
Second string looked all right too in the mounting yard.
That's right. Yeah. The Saintly be my pick, I would think.
Thanks very much for your time, Bob. Bob Skelton, the rider of Van der Ham. We'll never forget that Melbourne Cup. Well done, Bob.
Thank you.
Well, we'll know in about 4.5 minutes as we go back to Greg Miles.
They're being called in now. They're moving in. They're racing in the Cup. Oscar Schindler fairly out. Alcove, one of the first to bounce towards the inside. Saintly, Arctic Scent into stride quickly. Cheviot dropping back a bit. Nothing Like a Dane is prominent in the early stages. Away fast is Grey Shot on the outside. Court of Honour running up towards the leaders. Sentico over on the outside, and dropping back a bit is Super Slew in the early stages, with Fewer Chosen pressing on towards the front runners. At the 2800, it's Grey Shot going to the lead here over Court of Honour. Nothing Like a Dane right on the speed. Third on the rail from Elko. Wider out Fewer Chosen and Sentico. They're followed further back by Super Slew on the outside of Istadard. My Kiwi Gold between horses on the rail is Saintly. Further back in the field then on My Kiwi Gold, got a slight check off heel. Circles of Gold on his inside from Couchivus. Then came the Phantom Chance outside the Bandit, a length and a half to Senator, followed by Oscar Schindler on the outside of him. Pace is good at the post, a lap to go. Skybow outside Arctic Scent, then came Doremus and Sapio. Boart second to last, and Cheviot is last of all. The Melbourne Cup field heads out of the straight now to the riverside, and Grey Shot is the leader. It's Grey Shot, a length and a half, Fewer Chosen. Nothing Like a Dane is on the rail third. Court of Honour is fourth. Around it Super Slew. Then follows Sentico. Saintly over on the inside, having a nice run, followed by El Cove, and then Istadard the outside. A half a length away to Couchivus on the inside, and then Circles of Gold. 2 lengths My Kiwi Gold, the Bandit. 1 further back, the Phantom Chance. 1.5 Senator. He's followed by Oscar Schindler. 3 lengths further back is Skybow. Arctic Scent. Sapio over on the inside, spotting them along start. Doremus around him, and then came Cheviot, and Boart is last of all. Heading towards the 1600, the halfway. Grey Shot by a length here, Fewer Chosen. Nothing Like a Dane third. A length and a half, Super Slew. Saintly on the inside, having a beautiful run. Court of Honour next, followed by Couchivus, Alcove. Then Sentico, Istadard out wide. The Bandit, the rail, Circles of Gold, the centre. 1-2 Senator, and then the Phantom Chance and My Kiwi Gold. 2 lengths to Oscar Schindler, who races over on the outside of Arctic Scent, and then Skybow and Sapio. Doremus third last. Behind him is Cheviot, and Boart, the West Australian mare, whipped the field in at the 1200. The pace is starting to quicken a bit more now. Grey Shot by a length, Fewer Chosen. 2 lengths further back is Nothing Like a Dane, who's had a lovely run. Outside him, Super Slew. 2.5 further back in the field, Court of Honour on the outside of Saintly. Sentico next, and then Alcove, followed by Couchivus, and then trails Istadard, who's race wide. Back on the inside, then the Bandit between runners, Circles of Gold. My Kiwi Gold starting a run around the outside from the Phantom Chance, and then Oscar Schindler, spotting them a fair start, coming to the home turn from Senator. Doremus back behind Oscar Schindler, and then Arctic Scent as they came up towards the home turn. Sapio well back, followed by Cheviot and Boart. At the turn in the Cup now, and it's Grey Shot first for home. From coming after it, Nothing Like a Dane now. Fewer Chosen wider out from Super Slew. Saintly to the outside, and then came Couchivus, and further back in the field is Sentico. Oscar Schindler out very wide. Nothing Like a Dane and Saintly at the 300. They reached the lead together from Couchivus, and then came Grey Shot and Skybow well back. It's Saintly at the 200. Saintly dashing 2 lengths in front. Cummings and Beedman. Cummings going for 10, and he's got it. Saintly well clear of Couchivus. Nothing Like a Dane and Skybow, but Saintly wins it easily from Couchivus second. A photo third either Skybow or Senator, who ran on well. Then Nothing Like a Dane and Doremus, followed further back by Cheviot, and then came Grey Shot, Sapio, followed by the Bandit, Arctic Scent. Sentico next, trailed by Istadard, Super Slew, the Phantom Chance, and then Oscar Schindler, who's finished a long way back, followed in by Alco, Court of Honour, Boart, My Kiwi Gold, and Fewer Chosen, last to finish in the Melbourne Cup. History at Flemington. Swanee's 10th.
What a marvel. Bart Cummings and Darren Beedman, they've done it again. Number 5, Saintly, 680, 240. Second, 2, Count Shivers, $10 even. And third, a photo between last year's winner, number 1, Doremus, 3 even. And 11, Senator, $3.30. Greg.
It's 5-2 and a photo. Time is 3:18.8. The renaissance of Bart Cummings continues. A special moment. Number 22's got third. Skybow, 5-2, 22 official. Fourth going to Senator. And fifth, Nothing Like a Dane. This is a grand moment for J.B. Cummings. Well done, Bart. Not to be upstaged by the streaker, who's made his presence. Well, this is just one special moment in racing. Bart has changed his tactics to win the Melbourne Cup. A super win. Let's join Darren Beedman.
Long journey. And what about the J.B. Cummings polish? He is an absolute genius with a capital G.
Isn't he? And you know, you look at the Cox Plate and you think 2,000 metres, and he looked like he just got it. He goes to 3,200 today, has a beautiful run all the way, and at the finish he blitzed them.
He is, you know, we just can't describe how I feel. It's just, you know, I just give all the glory to God. I just thank him so much.
Darren, it must be great. You know, I have ridden for Bart over the years, but when you go out on a horse, and Bart, he was so confident, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really trained this horse. I think he knew he had a horse that could run 2 miles the way that his nature is. And, I can't speak.
And Darren, they said he wasn't bred to stay, but Bart said he doesn't know who his parents are.
That's right. He's just a wizard.
Oh, congratulations, mate. This is going to be one of the most sentimental wins, I think, ever. Bart Cummings' 10th Melbourne Cup and Darren Beedman's 2nd. And congratulations, Darren.
Thanks, mate.
Johnny Letts speaking with Darren Beedman, who's won his 2nd Melbourne Cup. He scored for Bart on Kingston Rule in 1990. I caught a glimpse of Bart on the television. He was brushing away a tear. This means something to him. Every one of his cup winners has started on the Saturday. He changed his plans with Saintly, ran him in the Metrop, won the Cox Plate with him, put him away and rested him until the Melbourne Cup. This tested Bart's undoubted skills to the limit. And he's come up trumps with a horse they said couldn't stay, and he's done it magnificently. Let's go back down to Channel 10.
Did you think it had ever come? It's 5 years since Let's Open, after all the trials and tribulations, but this horse is a super horse now.
He's pretty good. He stays well. He's a good mile and a quarter.
It's a word to describe it.
Chatting to Anthony Cummings, Bart, how do you feel after your dad's performance?
Oh, just fantastic. It's just the best thing. He's just too good for him. Always a trainer.
A very emotional moment, wasn't it?
Well, it is. It's not his start up again. It's just fantastic, you know, having sort of been along with the old man through the bad times. It's just great.
It was a great moment in sport. Thanks very much, Anthony, for your time. Go and enjoy the moment. Anthony Cummings there, Peter. Very emotional, chatting after his dad has scored his 10th Melbourne Cup win.
Yes, gee whiz. It is just special stuff. The man who's made this race his own, you just can't beat him off at any time, can you? He's been through some financial troubles. Was quiet for a few years. Some foolish punters and commentators might have even thought he was finished. But at 68 years, he's still teaching them new tricks in how to train. Wasn't bred to get the trip, but the further they went, the further clear of the field he got. And he's really made it a one-act. Count Chivas has been a surprise packet, running 2nd. And Skybow keeps running on at the end of the Melbourne to Warrnambool in 3rd place. The official 4th was Senator. This Kiwi's run a terrific race. He's made up a lot of ground in the last bit of the event. And the 5th went to number 7, Nothing Like a Dane. Shane Dye rode him on the speed, and he really had his chance. He angled out to have a crack at them coming towards the home turn. He got to about 2nd at the bend, but Saintly just swooped on them. And it was a most dominant win. The favourite, Oscar Schindler, settled back in the field, and at no stage did he come into the race. In fact, none of the internationals really figured, and it would be disappointment for the VRC that they haven't got us anywhere near close at the finish of the race. Grayshot leading them up, Court of Honour sitting close to the speed, and Oscar Schindler settling at the tail of the field and never quite really managing to get amongst it. The pace was on. It was generous enough for these horses to make ground. They've run it in 3:18.8, and that would have certainly given them an opportunity to pick up the leading horses, but it was not to be. It was Saintly who sprinted so magnificently from the 400, and once he hit the front, Beedman really was just biding his time. He's a magnificent striding animal, Saintly. He's a very, very big horse, long and loose, with a wonderful fluent stride. Flemington's his track. He's never been beaten here. OK, let's cross back down to the mounting yard.
Lee Friedman, no disgrace to run second to Bart.
None at all. You know, his horse drew a beautiful gate, had a lovely run, and he's a really high-class racehorse, and I thought he was always going to be the horse to beat.
Significant, the two most predominant trainers in the last couple of decades went first and second.
Well, I guess it's somewhat significant. I mean, I love training him for this race, and it's almost got to the stage that if I don't win it, I'm a little disappointed. But to run second to him and to run second to that horse, I think that form will stand up, and you know, I'm glad we made the decision to run.
How great a trainer is Bart Cummings?
He's not bad.
No, he's obviously, it's incredible. You'd be the only trainer, I suppose, that could eventually match him.
Well, I don't know about that, but he's been a great trainer, a great inspiration to us, and I've known him since I was a child of 8 or 10, and I congratulate him, and I know how much it means to him after what he's been through.
A great moment in sport?
It is a great moment in sport, yeah, it is a great moment. I mean, you know, you won't see anyone win 10 Melbourne Cups.
Very gracious in defeat, Lee Friedman. Thanks for your time, Lee.
Yes, well, as you say, Lee's about the only man who could possibly do it. He's won it 3 times already, and he's still only in his late 30s. Or he may have just turned 40, but certainly he's got a lot of time up his sleeve, but with 10 under the belt at 68 years of age. Now, weight is there. Correct weight's been notified for the placings of 5'2" and 22 on the Melbourne Cup. It was 2 1/4 by a neck and a head to third. Now, the dividends, $6.80 and $2.40 for the winner, Saintly, $10 even for Count Shivers for the place, and $19.60 for Sky Bow. The Quinella, $125.70. The Exacta, $260.60. The double on 2 and 5, $58.20. And the trifecta is yet to come. And we'll have that very shortly. OK. We can cross back down to the mounting yard again.
Yes, Greg, and Peter Hutchison is with us for his review of the Melbourne Cup, and you watched Oscar Schindler quite closely, Pete.
Yes, Pete. I think the dawdling pace didn't help matters. They made it a real sprint home. So it went very slow early. But that was the problem we were expected with Crying Game being the scratching this morning. They went slow early from the half mile. From the 1,000 metres, they really slapped the pace on, and it made it very, very difficult for the horses from the back, where Oscar Schindler was travelling. Even though he was lovely, beautifully relaxed and looked like he was going to work into the race, it was just too much of a task to produce, too much of an effort to produce to take the ground off him.
Would you say that Grey Shot, who led for a long way, was the better one of the two?
I think so, yeah. It did a great job, actually. You know, sort of relaxed beautifully in front as they stacked them up, steadied the pace right up, and he boxed on very, very well. But Oscar was a little bit disappointing, I thought.
And Shane Dye gave nothing like a day in the run of the race, back third on the inside.
Yes, he didn't get too far back today, Shane, but actually looked like with the slow pace that he was pulling a little bit hard early on in the piece, but the great horse that he is, nothing like it. He boxed on and fought on like a cage lion, and what a great run from the third horse, Sky Bow, probably one of the few horses that came from the back of the field to finish so well and run third. And of course Count Shivers, relatively handy and fought on well. So all in all, a good finish, and great to see Bart win his 10th.
Yes, you can't take anything away from the winner. When you win a Melbourne Cup by 2.5, it's very comprehensive, isn't it?
And when we all doubted whether he could get the trip, but the master trainer that he is, Bart, the horse never even looked like failing the distance.
Thank you, Hutchie, and for some closing comments before interstate stations leave us, it's back to our commentary box and Greg Miles.
Right, Peter, I just thought punters might like to know exactly where their horse finished in the Melbourne Cup, and we have the official finishing order from top to bottom. Doremus, 6th. Count Shivers, 2nd. Court of Honour ran 20th. Oscar Schindler, 15th. Saintly the winner, naturally. Grey Shot ran 7th. He was the best of the internationals. Nothing Like a Dane, 5th. Sapio, 8th. Estadard, 13th. Senator, 4th. The Phantom Chance, 17th. Boart was the official last, 22nd Boart. Arctic Scent, 12th. Super Slew, 18th. The Bandit, 11th, Chevy at 10th, Circles of Gold 14th, Fewer Chosen 19th, Alcove 9, Skybow 3rd, My Kiwi Gold 21st, and the bottom weight Centico finished in 16th place. So that's the way it was in the 1996 Melbourne Cup. Official placings 5, 2 and 22 as we relive those final moments in bidding you good afternoon from Grandstand's coverage of the Cup.